So since my wife and I moved into this house, which was about a week ago now, I have not uploaded a single actual tech video to the channel, which really pains me inside. I don't like it. Apart from unpacking and settling into the new house, one of the biggest reasons for that is not having a proper set studio office thing, whatever you want to call this room that we're in right here. For starters, echo is absolutely atrocious to the point where I don't even feel right recording this video right now. So we're actually going to fix that by installing some, or I should say wall mounting some acoustic foam panels, as well as dressing up this super bare wall behind me. So I actually got a couple of these tool, you know, those peg boards. I actually got 2 of these. I'm gonna mount them side by side here, maybe get some acoustic panels to line the top and bottom of that. Once both of those tasks are complete, so pretty much by the end of this video, I will be more equipped and actually ready to create some quality tech videos for you guys once again, which I can't wait to do. So for starters, let's get the show on the road. Let me just really quickly tell you how I'm gonna do this foam panel business. So I've got, let's see, 3 12 packs, about 3 12 packs. They're a square foot each and 2 inches thick. So what I did here, I took a bunch of cardboard boxes from our move actually, which came in really handy, cut them down to size to about a square foot, actually a little bit less. And then we're gonna take some spray adhesive to the back of each foam panel, stick them onto the cardboard, and then flip it over and put these command strips on each corner before mounting it to the wall. If you guys are familiar with these command strips, they're absolutely awesome. I'll put a link in the description if you're interested. They're great for hanging things. They have small, medium, and large ones. Super easy to install, but more importantly, easy to remove without damaging your paint. As far as design choice or patterns, I'm not gonna do anything fancy. I'm just gonna do like 3 large squares, 3 panels tall and 3 panels wide. 3 of those squares, boom, boom, boom. I'll probably space them out, you know, a couple inches apart. I did some quick measurements and that should fill up a pretty good chunk of this wall. I'll talk more about these pegboards when we get around to them, but for now, let's get cracking on these guys because this echo sucks. Actually, that echo impression sucked. Alright, all the acoustic foam panels are now adhered to their individual cardboard pieces. That took a little bit longer than expected, even with Wifey Sauce's amazing help, simply because we just didn't have a great spray can of spray adhesive. It was kind of lousy. It wasn't ejecting much out at the time, didn't hold very well or dry quickly enough. So after that can burned out, I went back to the hardware store to buy more spray adhesive, this time going with the 3M brand, and that worked just fine. Actually, it was much easier at that point. Now, one thing I overlooked here is that we actually have to wait for this to dry before we can mount them to the wall, simply because the smell. The smell is pretty fumey and toxic, and we don't want that in the house, at least with the cats in there. So we're gonna have to leave this to dry, possibly overnight, and we'll come back to it tomorrow to finally put them on the wall. But for now, let's go back inside the house. So we got 6 of these pegboards that we're gonna be putting side by side just like this. The other 3 are in a different room right now. But we're gonna be mounting those to the wall, of course, and Wifey Sauce actually had the great idea, basically laying all these panels flat down on a piece of paper, like a thin piece of wax paper, and then tracing with a pen where all the mounting holes were so that we could tape the paper on the wall and simply use them as guides for drilling our holes. We made sure everything's nice and level. The only issue here is that this wall actually has a pretty steep curvature to it. If you take this ruler, you can see the wall is not straight. It's a rounded wall. It's just, it was improperly built or whatever. So my only concern is that we trace this on a flat floor, and when we mount it on this curved wall, I really hope that all of the holes line up with the holes on that. One way to find out, I suppose. Okay, so it's been about 10 minutes since the last clip, and our drill died. Yeah, we didn't get very far. We did drill all of our pilot holes, so that's good. But since it's pretty late by now, we'll probably just pick this up tomorrow morning when the battery's fully charged and we can finish mounting this as well as all the acoustic panels that are currently drying in the garage. So I'm gonna go to bed and I'll see you guys in the morning. All right, it's the next day and I am feeling fully recharged just like my drill here. So let's carry on. Look at those beauties just sitting there all straight and pretty. Actually really liking the way this looks so far. Now it's not 100% glare free. You can sort of see the reflection of this light right here, but it's honestly not too terrible. I've been in the game long enough to know the camera tricks. You can kind of just move your camera or change lighting position in order to minimize those reflections. This is already a huge step up from having a blank white wall behind me in my videos, but still pretty plain and boring. So I'm gonna head to the garage, grab some things to start decorating this backdrop just to give it a little bit more character. All right, that took a bit longer than expected, just because there's a lot of stuff, a lot of possibilities, I guess, that could have gone on this wall, but here it is. Yeah, there's sort of a blend of things here. So some of these things are actually functional and serve purpose, like all these tools here that I actually frequently use. And then some of it's really just for decor, you know, and just for looking pretty, so that you guys don't have to just stare at my ugly face the whole time. There's a couple fun quirks about this wall. You can see that some things actually have power, or G-skill memory there. This keyboard and so forth. And basically it's kind of handy actually, even though it's not intentional. All these pegboards have these holes, obviously for the mounting screws. There's 3 of them on either side, which I routed most of the cables right through. So it pretty much hides a good majority of the cables. You can see a little bit here and there, but it really gets the most hairy right here because that's where our power strips are. But actually I somewhat strategically placed that to be right behind me for when I'm shooting most videos. So you won't be seeing that too much. Of course, when Paul's here for Awesome Hardware, we'll be 2 presenters split, so you might be able to see that section a little bit more. But I don't know, I think it looks kind of cool, especially because we've got our little Intel Nook here with the tiny monitor. This was featured in the tiny gaming PC video that I did a while back. And the reason I have a Nook here in the first place is because the keyboard, this is the control keyboard from Masterop, it wasn't holding a charge. It just wasn't holding power when plugged into either this USB hub or even directly to the power strip. So I just thought, well, I'll just wall mount to PC and that should hold the power. And sure enough, it does. Now these power strips, the cords for these are kind of an eyesore against this white wall. I don't know if I mentioned it before. I kind of wanted to mount at least 1 row of acoustic foam panels below. Since they're black, it'll be black on black, and that cord will sort of blend in a little bit. Plus I'll be, like I mentioned, standing or sitting in front of this area for most of my videos. But I wanted to point that out because I know someone in the comments is gonna be like, that looks horrible, it completely ruins your entire set and you suck. Speaking of those foam panels, this wall is looking awfully bare now, especially next to the one we just worked on. And I believe the acoustic foam panels are dry by now in the garage, so I think it's about time we slap them on. All right, look at that. 3 big ol' squares. Turned out pretty nice. There are a couple quirks though. Not all the squares were exactly the same size. And so you see sort of on the edges, I couldn't really get all of them 100% lined up. Kind of just bothers me. It really kicks my OCD into gear. And if I were to slide this panel, for example, to be flush with this one, then there would be a gap in between those 2 panels. That was the best I could do, but they don't look bad. And really they're more for function than they are form. So I don't know if you guys can tell, but it sounds a lot less echoing here to me. You guys let me know what you think, if this seems to help a bit. I'm gonna mount them side by side here, maybe get some acoustic panels to line the top and bottom of that. I don't know if you guys can tell, but it sounds a lot less echoing here to me. You guys let me know what you think. I also put a single row of panels above the pegboards, but I did not have enough foam for the bottom row, so that'll have to come later. I think it looks good. It definitely adds some contrast to the gray panels, and of course, further sound deadening is always nice. Now the studio lighting is not set up yet. I mean, I've got the lights on and stuff, but I mean, look at this sad diffuser. The nice big diffuser solution that I had at the old office is in the garage right now because it's just too big with the C-stand that it needs for this little space. So I'm actually gonna have to buy some more equipment online to accommodate a smaller size room and then play with the lights a little bit more to really finesse the set lighting. And also I was thinking, you know, initially I was like, okay, well I'll just shoot from here, from this angle, just do a straight shot like I've done in the past. But then I was kind of playing around with angles and I was thinking this looks like it just gives the shot, it kind of gives the shot more depth to shoot sort of at an angle here. So I'm gonna play around with it and I'm sure you guys will see slight iterations from video to video as I slowly nail down exactly what I'm looking for. So that's pretty much it. What do you guys think? I'm kind of scared, really, to hear your thoughts, but also excited to hear your feedback, so feel free to blow it up down below. Guys, that's gonna do it for me. Thank you so much for watching. Toss a like on the video if you enjoyed it. Get subscribed for more tech stuff. Shut up, phone. Have a good one, and I'll see y'all in the next video.
Oh yeah, I don't want to be in the video.